Okay, so if you guys ever had a pair of headphones or a pair of headset or a product for any matter that you really loved, like you just genuinely loved using that product on a single everyday basis, whether it's at school, at home, doesn't really matter. The point is, have you had one of those products that you just genuinely enjoy and just like use every single day? So that used to be the case with me and the Beats Solo 3. I've had those for absolutely ages and I absolutely loved using those Beats. I use them all the time. Back when I was in the high school, I used to use them every single day, every morning in the bus. The point is, I haven't really come across another product like that so recently the Beats Studio Pros got a revamp, brand new design, new but not new in some way. The reason is, what we're looking at here today is a revamp of the previous design. The Beats Studio 3 have been around for a long time. It was a popular model. I think out of the Solos and the Studio is definitely the better pick out of both of them. It has the bigger ear cuffs, it has noise canceling, it's just a better product overall. Beats Studio Pros, however, are somewhat of a really good product, but at the same time I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with this. You know, I used to own a pair of Solo 3s and I still have them. The ear cuffs are like all busted, all destroyed. Point is, I always wanted a pair of Beats Studio. And when I got these, it finally came true. I had a pair of Studios, but it's also felt like it just never ticked off the box. It feels like that satisfaction, that thing I was craving for so long, just never really happened. Okay, so ultimately there's a couple of questions that we can ask ourselves when it comes to the Beats. All right, so why don't they tick off the box? Is it the comfort? Is it the size? Is it the design? There's a couple of things I want to cover in this video, and I want to keep it really short as there's not that much to say. You know, first of all, the design is practically identical to the Beats Studio 3s, but it does have its differences. And I think the one thing that really sticks out to me is the fact that it just doesn't fit the same. It's not as comfortable as they used to be. I've tried a pair of Studio 3s. I actually went back to the store recently and I tried a pair of Studio 3s just to see how they were, and it just doesn't feel the same. Something about these just are not that comfortable. They changed something in the formula of creating these beats that just makes it seem a little bit, I don't know, just not that great. But I promise it's not all that bad. You know, there's some great aspects. So the noise canceling on these headphones is actually really solid. It does the job just fine. It holds up really well. And I think that's one thing that they've nailed with the Beats Studio lineup. So yes, you're getting noise canceling with these. It's great. I can't complain. It's awesome. That's what they're designed for. And the comfort is relatively solid for the most part, even though I do think that the previous generation was a little bit better. But naturally, comfort and styling out of the way, there's one thing that really sticks out with Beats, and that will always be the high advantage selling point of the Beats, and that just simply is the battery life. It's undoubtedly probably one of the best battery lives I've ever seen in a pair of wireless headphones. It's great. On a day-to-day basis, you will never really run into any issues. I think this is the strong selling point of Beats. I've had the Solo 3s. Battery was absolutely through the roof. It was insane. It would literally last me 40 plus days before I had to charge them again, and I would use them on a day-to-day basis. I kid you not, every single day, every single morning, I would use them for an hour or two, and they were amazing. They just lasted forever. And I have to say, these are about the same. They last just about forever. Okay, but you must be thinking to yourself, so there must be a downside. These Beats can't be flawless, they can't be perfect. There must be something about them that falls short. And I have to admit, guys, unfortunately, the price went up again. And I'm not saying this in any shape or form because I'm being cheap or because I'm saying, oh, don't spend money on products. The truth is, if I'm gonna spend money on a product, it might as well be damn near perfect, because these will run you up $400 plus depending on where you are. Here in Canada with taxes, they will literally run you for $540. It's a lot of money. It's very pricey. If anything, you can add $200 and you get yourself a pair of AirPods Max. So I don't know, are they worth it for the price? So some people will beg to differ. Some people will say, listen, the Beats are amazing, get them, they're great. I would personally say, maybe you should reevaluate. Maybe you should consider, if you love the Beats design, if you love the actual performance of the Beats, if you love the new design, which by the way has USB-C, still has an auxiliary jack, still has the functions on the side, so the buttons on the left ear cuff that allows you to control the settings. So whether you want to pause the song, you want to skip to the next song, or you want to go back 3 times, you also have the volume up and down. That's great. They've maintained some of the key designs that were great and functional about the previous model, which I love. The new colorways are actually really nice. They're super clean. They have this really nice, elegant look to them, so that's great. But ultimately, the question is, if you haven't had Beats, should you get these? If you've already had the previous generation, should you upgrade? And now I think, to put it simply, to answer the first question, if you've never had Beats, this could be a great entry towards the Beats lineup, towards the Beats in general, because they're great. You know, they have great sound, really good drivers, noise canceling is amazing, which it also has transparency mode if that's something that you guys are interested with. So I think that's some of the features that Apple's kind of really been sticking to, especially if you've been keeping up with the AirPods regular and the AirPods Pro. The latest generations have noise canceling and they have the transparency mode, which is great. I think that's pretty useful. It's very convenient for most people. You guys do as you wish. They have it on this headset. But then again, I just feel like the overall new design, which is same but not the same, feels a little different. This top part here doesn't sit as nice as it used to on the head, and overall just the pricing of these just makes a little bit, it just kind of makes no sense. I don't really see why you would spend that much money to get this model. So quickly, if you compare this model to the last one, there's not that many new changes. You know, there's a slight redesign, which is generally bare minimum. It has, you know, the transparency mode. And you can't even say that these have noise canceling and the last ones don't, because the last generation also had noise canceling. So ultimately the question is, if you've never had Beats, this might be a good option for you. But if you already have Beats, I kid you not, there is practically no point for you to get these, because I mean, they're pricey, and for what? For a bunch of new colors and for less branding? I don't know, that's just me, but listen, hey. Now, with all that being said, I don't think that the Beats Studio Pros are bad in any shape or form. I think it's a great product nevertheless. I just have a personal opinion. I just felt like sharing that with you guys. I don't think it's worth it at this time and point. It would be great if these go on sale and you can pick them up for 300 bucks. Don't even hesitate. It's a great headset. It's amazing. But full price, I probably would stay away from it in the meantime. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about the Beats Studio Pro. I made this relatively short video as I wanted to keep it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more dynamic for you guys. Let me know what you think about this format. Comment section down below is the best place to get a conversation started. Beats Studio Pro, are you going to be picking these up? Are you not going to be picking these up? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, obviously, to each their own, but are they worth it? They're all right. I mean, I don't know, but hey, whatever.